Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost. Yeah. How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Check in on the numbers last week for Robinson. 18 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown.
And he has 12 touchdowns on the ground this season, so you know he's a big part of their offense. They count on it, not only to score the touchdowns, but now they can play action, fake it to him, throw it out to the wide receivers, get it to other players who can also produce.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Gets around him. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
Partner, do we still count this as the holiday season?
A little bit of a gray area, but I think you can.
Okay, well, we just passed it, right? Well, the gifts keep coming to our guy, don't they?
They do.
I mean, think about this now. Clinch the playoff spot. Offensive player of the week in Week 16. I think he's going to keep going. I think he's going to keep firing away. I don't think they pull back at all.
Yeah, and everybody for them rounding into form right now. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched the playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game, because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds him and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Back to throw. Howard. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's fourth down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now back to throw. A quick pass here. He's got Shepard. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. He'll look to throw. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. First carry now for David Montgomery. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Divine Diablo there to make the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the Raiders are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done, because as it stands right now, they won't have the first round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
To throw is Howard. Looking to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Looking to throw. Howard. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Taken down at the 47-yard line. Now Howard to throw on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The Raiders at 12-3 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. Here's Howard on 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. They'll look to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. That catch, by the way, number 1099 for his career, one away from 1,100.
Sounds like an IRS catch, doesn't it?
I was thinking the same thing, 1099. I'm just thinking I should be doing my taxes.
Exactly, got to turn it in. He's accumulating those kind of numbers, isn't he?
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. He gets this down to the 3. Brought the power run out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Howard looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Dominique Robinson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Throw over the middle, taken in by Dulcich. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw here. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, Sutton, a nice catch. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On play action, they'll throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. He's got a man. That's Marshall. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. John Franklin Myers able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And this one is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything, every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Howard. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, kind of a quirk in the schedule. These 2 division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake. Howard. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Howard now, throwing again. Wide open receiver, complete.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
His last catch was number 1100. This one, 1101. Puts him even with 2013 Hall of Famer Chris Carter.
So it just tells you it doesn't matter whether you catch it with one hand, catch it with two hands. They count the save, and what a number he has put up in his career.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
Back to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders have moved out in front.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. A 10-play drive that time.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
And Denver getting set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. On as the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. He'll look to throw.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football. Come on.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete. And there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's 3rd down.
What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
To throw is Howard. Throwing to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Howard.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Howard from the gun on 3rd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Howard throwing on 1st down.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin with an interconference matchup. Baltimore returning to the city where they won a Super Bowl as they take on Atlanta. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. The Bills trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. and they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Austin Eckler, a touchdown run in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they... have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Howard, off play action.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing. And that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
Is the hitch route. Tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
Howard now on first down. Past the 20. Flop, touchdown. Davante Adams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Raiders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They'll look to throw.
Got his man, it's Dulcich. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go.
They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And sometimes, I guess, maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there, give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back, and essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far.
19 Tigers.
On second down, Jacobs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. I guess give him credit for at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, Charles, because he could have easily lost a couple there.
He showed a lot of fight and grit on that run, and it's the type of play that coaches aren't going to wait for film session to praise. They're going to go to every position and say, that's the kind of effort we need from all of you.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt, and he missed it. It's no good, and the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. Denver's offense now set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of 1 yard. And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
A loss of 1 yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Back to throw. Hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And a pretty good burst there as they get this across midfield and down to the 46. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now this throw caught left side. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Jacobs bowling his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Carlson on for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And Denver getting set to take the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down. Howard. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Let's go now. 19 Tigers, 19 Tigers.
Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Set to take over. The Broncos offense trots back out. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Second and 1. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers. Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there. Running is Jacobs. To about the 26 here.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Howard. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And coming out now, the Broncos. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And able to find Aiken complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. A quick pass here. He's got Shepard. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. And now here is another interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Raider defense delivers a score. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap 1.
Carlson on for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. That's to Marshall on the quick slant. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He'll drop to throw.
That's taken in by Dulcich.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Contreras. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
We might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things. with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds.
And my goodness, another interception.
Andrew Booth puts it off, and the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Going on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
93 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. He'll keep it himself.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Raiders are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad is on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Denver's offense now set to go. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll drop to throw. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Contreras.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
They'll look to throw again. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Back to throw here.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. His kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
To throw is Howard. To throw on 3rd down.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
That's caught by Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Montgomery, another target and catch.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. And by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice. Obviously, your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Las Vegas, they run their record to 13-3 now on the year.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL.
Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.